Welcome back to the fields of Perthshire. Back out with the trusty XP Deus 2, and as you'll see, Mr. Albert is back. He's not been out in ages, but I've got the day off, he's got the day off, so we thought we'd go for it. So we're back on this field. They're still working away on the field next door. I'm going to see if we're able to jump into that in the top corner of the field, but in the meantime we'll see what we can get out of here. This is the field that gave me a hammered penny, probably of Edward III, sorry, and a cut quarter of Edward I. So probably 1270s to 1290s for the quarter, and sort of 1360, 1370 for the whole silver penny. So it's a good sign, and lots of crop marks. So let's see what we get. So far it's been a couple of scraps of copper and a bottle top for me, which I will spare you viewing. And this one here is a little bit better. Well, maybe not. 1991, higher readout anyway. And I should also add, I'm on program 3, sensitive, full tones. And I've changed over to square tones as well, just to give that a bash. Let's see how we get on. Well, I did have my doubts, and I was correct. Junk. This one came in at a faint 65, and it is a big chunk of lead. But, as I've said many times before, it's always a good sign when you're getting old bits of lead, because in the old days, the medieval period, it was the plastic of its day. Everything was made from lead. So if you're turning up lots of lead, which we certainly did yesterday on this field, then hopefully that's a good sign of better things to come. This one was a really faint 91, 92. I decided to dig it, and I'm glad I did, because it was a very deep buckle, or a bit off of a heavy horse, a big bridle. Give it a proper clean in a sec, but before I show you it, Albert's just shouted to say he's got his first coin, so let's go and have a look at that. Okay, here's Mr. Albert's coin, giving it a rub with a magic thumb. Georgius 111 Rex. And you can just make out his big potato head looking to the right hand side, and on the back you can just make out Britannia seated with her trident. So it's a halfpenny, George III, so that means it's 1760 through to 1820, and first coin goes to Albert. So George III, obviously the madness of King George, he lost the Americas, and his son had to take over as regent early because he lost his mind. Great start. And here is my buckle. Oh, focus. There we go. So great big horse buckle, probably off of a rein that was attached to a plough back in the days of old, and date wise it's probably going to be 17 into the 1800s, I'm reckoning. Probably Georgian in date, may well even relate to Albert's coin. Same period, who knows. On to the next. We had a 72, didn't sound amazing, but we might have our first button. It has just fallen out. Don't think it's a coin, it looks the wrong size. But it's definitely green. Yeah, I think that's a circle there in the centre. Bit of gold gilding on there as well, I think. Let's give it a wee rub-a-dub, see if there's any decoration. Plain on the front facing side, I assume that's the front facing side. And on this side, there's a little sort of square or diamond, which I think is the little dot in the middle is where the shank would have been. There's some lettering, but I can't read it. And there's also some gold gilding, like a sort of flowery sort of vine-like effect around the outside edge, but just too far gone for me to read. We had an 89, 91, quite deep down, about 7 to 8 inches, and I just caught a glimpse of something round and silver looking, and I don't think it's a coin. Oh, it's something. It is something. Don't know what though. It's got writing on it. It's got a patent number at the bottom. I'm guessing it must be something tractorish related. Give it a wee rub and see. This side is plain. The other side, at the top it says comfort harness, patent, and then a number. So I'm assuming part of a seatbelt or some sort of harness mechanism. Either way, junk. And 84 this time produces a little button. Might have been decorated at some point, but seen better days. Little dome shape, and I'm guessing probably going to be 16, 17, again into the early 1800s, but it does look a bit crude, so I think it's older. The rain has just started to come on, but worry not, the XP DS2, fully waterproof. Unfortunately I'm not, but I'm quite well kitted out, and hopefully it's just a shower. Not been great for me so far, but we've got quite a good solid signal right here. Clean the screen so you can see it. Solid 86. Come on, get a coin. We're out and I can see something, and it don't look like no coin. Right here. That looks like a big hunk of lead. And it is a big hunk of lead. Well, that's a pretty hefty piece. It's a kind of sheet that's been folded over on itself and tucked in at the end. But again, I'm not going to complain. It's a good sign. Bit of age to it. No Roman coin, no hammered coin, no gold coin, but we keep on digging. This one was a 70, and I don't know, it looks a bit circular. Might be a button, might be a coin. It's a thing. It's neither a button nor a coin. It's one of these. What are they? Like a sort of tack. Is it for furniture, maybe? Upholstery? Not sure. I've seen them before, but I can't remember what they are. But damn, thought for a second there I was in with a coin. Nice and thin too. Oh well. I predicted a coin last time and it wasn't a coin. Solid 88. It's definitely in the right tone and the right numbers for a coin. Let's see. Well, 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 look what we've got right here. Popped out on the last spadefill, and we, I think, have almost certainly got a coin. And we do, and I've dropped it. It is a penny. What do we think? Victoria? Nope, there's a man looking to the left. I think it's Gorgeous George, and it is pouring down with rain, so I'm going to clean it up and then I'm going to go and hide under these trees. Right, we're hiding under the bushes because it's pouring with rain. I've given my George V a little clean up. It is a George V, 1 penny, but it is pretty corroded on the back. Can't really make out the date, maybe a 0 at the end, and he ruled from 1909 until 1936, so maybe a 1920. George V, by the grace of God, King of the Britons, defender of the faith, and Emperor of India. So he should never have been king. His brother, his older brother, Albert Victor, should have, but he died in an influenza pandemic in the 1880s or thereabouts. His brother was also the one who was suggested as being possibly Jack the Ripper in London. And his brother was courting a young woman called Mary of Teck, and when he died, George V ended up dating her and then marrying her. So the royals keeping it in the family. Still, my first coin of the day. Let's have a look and see what Albert's got. You're never going to believe it. He's found the back of a pocket watch. He's found a handful of stuff. Back of a pocket watch, a little buckle, and then some odds and sods. However, he's only went and found a horse's ass. He's found the backside of a horse, which feels like it's bronze. How old's that going to be? And how the hell does it end up in a field? It's not a child's toy, I don't think. It's too big, too well made. But Albert has found a horse's ass. Well done, Albert. I'm guessing, date-wise, you can see a seam on it, on its back. So I'm guessing it's probably 1800s into the early 1900s. Possibly part of an ornament. But either way, it's a quality find. Wonder where the rest of it is. This one came in at a 51, pretty solid. Relatively shallow, only 3 or 4 inches down. Initially I thought it's some sort of mount, but the holes, the dots, I thought was decoration. They go all the way through. So, I don't know, maybe more of a sort of strainer type thing. Then again, maybe it is some sort of mount that would have been attached to leather. Who knows? But it's still raining. And it's a find. Still raining, and so far today we've had a horse's arse from Albert, and now we've got a coo's ear from me. Come in number 40950. Your time is up. It's a little ear tag for a cow made by Bank Baker and Sons of Birmingham. Oh well. Another nice high tone target. 91 to 93. Let's see what we get this time. Still raining. Oh well. So much for a beautiful high tone target. We have got an aluminium can. A screaming 74-75. Literally just under the surface. And, I thought we had a coin, but we don't. It's a button. I can see a loop. It's a bloody button. Oh, it's got a bit of decoration on it though, so it's better than your average button. Peel that off. Still got the loop. Right, let's give it a wee rub-a-dub and see how it looks. Still raining, but one of the definite benefits of the DS2 is the only thing I need to worry about getting wet is me, because with my old XP Gold Max I was always worried when it came on heavy because the rain cover that I had on it wasn't the best. However, here's our button. It's relatively chunky on the loop at the back. I can't see any maker's mark, and it's got quite a nice little turned decoration there. A few circular lines. I think this is what they call an engine turned button. Don't think it's massively old. Probably Georgian, possibly Victorian. So sometime between the sort of middle of the 1700s into the very start of the 1900s, I'm guessing. But if you've a better idea, let me know in the comments below. A little bit better than your average button. Good. Another high toned one. $88 to $90. Either a coin or aluminium. Let's see. Well, neither is the answer. As soon as I put the pinpointer on, I realised it was quite big, quite chunky, and here it is. It is a thingamajiggy, as we call it in the business. I'm going to say tractor related junk. But I wasn't going to miss that. That blew the ears off, and the fact that it was so shallow, there's no way you were missing that. It's almost stopped raining, and this one came in at a 76. That looks like we might have a big dandy button, or part of one. We do, still got the loop as well. Let's give it a wee rub up, see if we've got any decoration. No, it looks like a plain one. Didn't bother cleaning the back, but the front side, can't see any. Well, in fact, tell a lie, there is. There's a little bit of, looks like little leaves maybe going on in the centre. But it's a dandy button, very, very thin. And these were worn by the dandy boys, as they were called. They were sort of fashionable young men during the Georgian period, sort of 1750s through to the 1820s. They wore these elaborate coloured waistcoats and jackets and oversized buttons. The fashionistas of their day. I had my dandy button right here, and just checking around. Similar reading, 79. Maybe we'll get dandy button number 2. We're out the hole, still sounding pretty good. Someone commented that my pinpointer wakes up their wife when they're trying to watch my videos in bed. I get that a lot as well. My wife's always shouting at me when she hears Mr. Cleggy at midnight or 7 in the morning. Anyway, so I've taken on board what you said. I've gone vibrate only, except I've not turned it on. There we go. So, bzz, bzz. Let me give you some visual effects. That Claude? No. As I say, you know how rubbish I am at using this thing as it is. Oh, we have got a silver thruppence, and it is Gorgius Georgius, George V, 1921. Right, excellent. Always nice to get a bit of milled silver. Let me give it a clean up. So there we go, George V, by the grace of God, King of the Britons, Defender of the Faith, and Emperor of India. 1921, and the big 3 below the crown means 3 pence, silver thruppence. So 1921, 101 years old, that's officially an antique. Excellent, always good to get some silver. Has Albert made an amazing discovery? What do you reckon to that? Looks like it's made of bronze. Is that a sword hanger? For hanging your sword, as the name would suggest. We've had a few in the past. I think we've also had a couple of people suggesting that it could be part of a harness system for a horse. Oops. But what do you reckon? Could that be a sword hanger for hanging your sword off a belt? Let us know in the comments, because if it is, then that could be 16, 15, 1400s, maybe. So we'd be interested to know your thoughts. A very, very deep signal came in about, God, it was about 10 inches down. Another massive big lump of lead folded over. Probably got a bit of age to it, but again, it's a good sign. And hopefully there's some ancient medieval relics waiting to be discovered. A very, very faint 64, and it's either going to be a button or maybe a little copper Scottish coin, and the answer is it's a button, 4-hole button. Damn, haven't had a turner for a long time, which is an old Scottish tuppence or 2 pence. And the strange thing is, the fields around here have normally got lots of them in them, but in the last couple of attempts on these brand new fields, we haven't managed one yet. Fingers crossed. Date wise, I'm guessing probably 18 into the very early 1900s for this one. We're on 1991 just here. Sounded better than that, but it's a bit wishy-washy. Moment of truth. I'm glad to report we've got some blue sky on the horizon, but it is forecast to pour down with rain in about an hour, so not got long left. Anyway, quite shallow this one, 3 or 4 inches down, and do you see what I see? those two little notches and the fact it's off-white tells me it's a lead seal. And it is a lead seal. Now how old is it is the question. Not very. 1889 is the date, and the usual Russian, Ukrainian sort of writing. So this would have been attached to bales of flax that came over here from the Baltic states to be milled into linen. It's a huge industry in Perthshire. Lots and lots of mills milling flax into linen. So, date wise, well, we know it's got a date on it, 1889. A 55 and 6 inches deep is a little .22 caliber bullet. You can see the rifling round the edge. But yeah, good depth. Well done, Mr. Dace, for picking that one up. Came through loud and clear. You'll never guess what field we're in. I'll give you a clue. It's the carrot field. The farm, the tractors have kinda stopped working. There's still one person down there in his wee tractor going back and forward. But this is the perfect opportunity for us to give it a quick half hour, 40 minutes, just get a wee taste to see if there's anything good to come from this field. It would be magic if there was. As you can see, there's a lot of straw on the surface that we've got to work our way through, so I'm just going to pick a line that's got as little straw as possible, try and get from one side of the field to the other before the rain comes on, which is due anytime, 30-40 minutes, so maybe an hour. See how we get on.